Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I am using the Osho Zen Tarot. And I love this deck so much, and I haven't read with it for a while. So before I start the reading, I just want to let you know that I've just opened registration on my upcoming 4-week tarot course. It's called The Daily Tarot Girl's Guide to Reading Tarot for Others. And classes start May 6th. Registration closes on May 4th. And if you're interested in learning more about this class, I'll put the link in the description box below this video. All right. So let's begin with the first card. This card represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. All right. So we have one of my favorite cards, laziness. In a Rider-Waite deck, this would be the 9 of Cups. All right. So laziness. What does this mean? There's a fine line, I think, between restfulness and laziness. There's a difference between recharging your batteries and just taking a time out and, going into slothfulness. So how you can tell the difference, and I think this is important because I think so many of us, we've been in isolation for a while now. And I know there's a lot of people, you can't leave your apartment or your home. And I think that for many of us, we're starting to slip into complacency and laziness because we're not sure what else to do. And the difference between restfulness and laziness, because restfulness is energizing. It recharges your batteries. It's healthy for you. It's good for you. But laziness has the opposite effect. It actually drains you of energy. So this card is asking us to pay attention to this. And if we're feeling like we're slipping into laziness, ask yourself, what would it take to get out of laziness? What would it take to kind of shake things up? Laziness is almost like, it's like the dark side of, let me think about this for a minute. So there's stillness, which is a good thing. There's stillness. There's going within and being present. And laziness is also stillness, but it's not stillness in a wholesome sense. It's more like just not moving forward. So there's stillness where you go inward, but this is stillness where you don't go anywhere. You're not going inward and you're not moving forward. So if you're not moving forward or if you're not moving outward in the world, you want to be moving inward. But laziness is where you don't do either of those things. So I'm trying to think of examples of this. Like when I'm just sort of zoned out watching some crap on Netflix, eating pizza, I'm not going inward. I'm not growing. And I'm not doing anything productive either. And I think we all need moments like that. We all need moments of laziness, but we don't want to stay in this mode for too long. And we don't want to do this too often because it's detrimental to your growth as a human being. It doesn't feed your soul. It doesn't energize you. Let's look at the next card. All right. So the card for the middle of the week, so Wednesday, Thursday, we have receptivity. And what is so beautiful about this card is I did a reading about 5 minutes ago, and I got to almost to the end of the reading, and I realized that my camera was not focused properly. So I scrapped the reading and I started over. But in that first reading, I got this card in this exact same position. So I love that it's shown up again for us. All right, so receptivity would also be the Queen of Cups in a Rider-Waite deck. So the middle of the week is a time to be open. What's interesting is that it's come after laziness. Now, when you're in lazy mode, it's like your mind is kind of open in an unhealthy way. It's like you're almost vulnerable to being hypnotized or to have ideas planted into your brain. Like I think of someone just kind of zoned out in front of the TV and watching all these ads and just kind of being mindlessly programmed. That's different. That's a different kind of openness. It's like the kind of openness where you don't realize that you're open to something. You don't realize that your mind is vulnerable. But with the Queen of Cups, this is about consciously opening to new ways of thinking, to new ideas, to new ways of being, and opening more to feeling. So opening up to all the different nuances and emotional sensations that you're having. And being open also, to be truly open, it requires you to kind of let go a little bit, and it requires you to let go of judgment and assumptions. Think of like the qualities of a really good counselor. A really good counselor is someone who's a good listener, who's open, who will listen to you without immediately interpreting what you say or twisting your words or making assumptions. So receptivity, this card is about really opening to yourself, opening to your feelings, opening up to your ideas, but it's also about kind of opening to life. If you look at the posture of the woman on this card, she's reaching her arms upward, and there's this beautiful flower, and it looks like there's energy from the universe kind of streaming down through her body. And this is about really being that divine bridge between heaven and earth. So think about the energy of spirit and the universe, and then think of the more down-to-earth qualities of, physicality. And as a human being, you kind of have both of those. You have a physical body and you have a spirit. So you're this bridge between the physical and the non-physical, the physical and the spiritual. Okay, I'm kind of rambling here. So this card is asking you to be open and to be nurturing, particularly when it comes to nurturing yourself. You need to nurture the things within yourself that you want to see in the world. So if you want the world to be more kind and compassionate, start by nurturing those qualities within yourself, treating yourself with kindness and compassion, and that will allow you to be kind and compassionate to others. All right, let's look at the last card. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have patience. This is Seven of Rainbows, aka Seven of Pentacles. All right. I think, did we get this card last week? I can't remember. I'll have to look. So Seven of Rainbows, or Seven of Pentacles, is, I love how it shows a pregnant woman and then it's got the moon phases. And just think of that symbol of a pregnant woman. She's growing something within her, and you can't rush that. You have to, be patient when you're growing a human within you. And I always like to use the gardening analogy with this as well. It's like when you plant a seed, and then there's going to be a certain amount of time before that seed pops up and sprouts, and then, even more time for it to grow. And you have to be patient. And again, there's these qualities of nurturing that are going to be really important. You need to nurture whatever it is that you're wanting to grow and birth into the world. You want to be able to nurture that and take care of it. All right, so what does this card mean for us this week? This card is encouraging you to, I think, be patient with yourself. I sense that so many of us are expecting a lot of ourselves right now. Some of us may be getting impatient. I think some of us are expecting ourselves to be more productive or more motivated than we are, or we're wanting things to move more quickly than they are. And I know for people who are in isolation and you haven't left your apartment in a while, we're all wanting this to kind of hurry up and resolve, and so we can, get back to normal. And this card is saying, be patient. Things are unfolding, and things are going at the way that they need to. Things are developing at the rate that they're developing at, and there's nothing you can do to speed things up. Speeding things up would only be detrimental in this situation. So really be patient, take a breath, bide your time. Okay, I've been rambling for 10 straight minutes, but I want to just look at all 3 cards to see if there's anything else that I want to mention. I am noticing a theme of inactivity with these cards. So, laziness, that's obvious. He's not doing much. But that's kind of like unhealthy inactivity. This is healthy inactivity. This is unhealthy, and this is healthy inactivity. So receptivity is about, again, it is about stillness, going within, being open to spiritual energy, spiritual guidance, connection to your higher self, spirit guides, things like that. And then this card is a little more down to earth, but again, it's about slowing down. It's about kind of going within, being patient. The woman on this card has her eyes kind of closed, and she looks like she's thoughtful, she's restful. So there is this theme of inactivity, which I guess is in a way a good thing, because a lot of us aren't doing a lot right now. And some of us are really busy and still working. But the theme here is about, I think, transforming laziness into conscious stillness and reflection. Okay, so I just want to say thank you for watching. I hope you found this reading helpful, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. You can add your 2 cents if you have some ideas. And actually, I just noticed what's kind of funny here. These 2 cards, there's the guy with the big belly, and then there's a woman with a belly, but her belly, she's growing new life. She's got something happening. There's a project. He's just kind of not growing new life. And that's the difference between stillness that isn't going anywhere and stillness that's going somewhere. All right. So thank you so much for watching. And if you want to learn more about tarot card reading, you can check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com.